Hello, Max, Ray, and Katie. This is Poppy Kevin again. I'm going to send you a video that's still uploading to Photos. It's about 20 minutes, and I am going to show you how we render beeswax. I'm not sure how good the light is in here, but this is a frame that I left out in the sun, and it's the wooden frame with a thin plastic foundation. See, I have two different kinds, and the bees like this one better, and I thought they would rob it themselves, clean it up really quick, but they didn't. And the sun melted it part way, so it's not good for anything right now. You could still use it, but it's not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the beeswax off of it. This beeswax, melt it down, and give it back and put it on a different foundation. Now, wax is very dangerous to work with. You see, I have this old antique iron skillet that I use, and but you don't put the wax in a skillet by itself, because like water, when you put water, exists as a solid, which is ice. When water is a solid, it's ice. When it warms up, it turns into a liquid, like that. That's liquid. Then when it really gets hot and boils, it turns into a gas. And if it gets even hotter than that, it turns into a plasma. But wax is one of these substances that they call it a flash point. It doesn't boil. If you heat it up and heat it up and heat it up, what it'll do is it'll go straight into steam. It doesn't boil. There's just one minor difference between it being melted, a little bit of temperature. I don't know what that temperature is right now, but it goes from a liquid to a gas, and it can explode on you and burn you. So the way you avoid that is you boil water first, because that will keep the temperature of the wax at 100 degrees Celsius, and it won't get hotter, and it won't explode, turn into a gas. So I'm going to do this over the sink, but you take your hive tool when you start scraping, and this is beeswax, and that's all it is. But it's not clean. It's not really clean. So what we're doing is we're melting it down, and then what will happen is that the dirt particles of whatever that we don't want will be on the bottom, and then you just scrape that off until the wax is a color kind of like a yellow. So I've scraped off both sides. I got that much wax from one side. This will make a little bit of wax. The water's starting to boil, so I'm going to go ahead and put the wax in there. I might turn the heat down just a little bit. When water reaches its boiling point, it doesn't get any hotter. It just boils faster and faster and faster, and it evaporates a lot faster. And we don't want that either. So once I get it boiling, that's all. I can turn the heat down to some temperature that it'll continue to boil. And I'm just going to take this outside where it belongs, and some of the bees might find it and finish cleaning it off for me. This is some wax that I got out of the hive when they were making queen cells before they swarmed, and some of the, this is just cleanup wax, and that's about the size of a ping pong ball. And so I've been saving it, so I'll put it in here too. And as soon as this melts, as soon as the wax melts, I just turn off the heat, and when it cools, it'll float on top of the water, and the particulates, the dark, which whatever the dark is, it's this dark stuff will be on the bottom, and you can just take the pan when it cools, flip it upside down outside in the yard. The water will come out from underneath the wax. If the wax is real thin, the wax could break. And so we won't tell Alma that I'm doing this inside the house. It's actually cleaner than, as long as I don't spill it, it's cleaner than cooking bacon, because there's nothing splattering. Unless I spill it, and then it's going to be a big mess. So, oh, you know what? I actually have a cooker. I have a gas cooker that I can use outside. I'll do that next time. When we go camping, it's for camping. Well, it's starting to melt, but this is a good place to stop this video, and I'll show you what it looks like later when I finish. Okay, thanks for watching.